So to me, that's what it sounds like. Like Belichick talked the talk when he had Tom Brady, when they had a chance to win the Super Bowl every year. Now 3 years go by, no playoff wins. He made the playoffs. It's good considering who he's working with, but he's the GM. He acquires the talent. Now that it's inconvenient, now that it's hard, now you look back and say, look at the last 25 years. And Teddy called him out on it, Key.
Yeah, but what he said, optimism about where this team is headed, right? This is what Mike Reese asked him. And asked that question, and that's what he gave him on the answer, 25 years of it, of success. Here's why I don't have a problem with what Belichick said. Is because he realized a year ago he completely screwed it up. And coaches that feel good about their teams and where they're at in terms of their team and what they feel good about, they say things boldly. So what he's letting everybody know is it's going to be something to be reckoned with this year. Last year, it was a trial period with Joe Judge and experimenting with Matt Patricia as the offensive coordinator. That's no more. The defense was solid. The offense stunk up the joint. So what does he do? He goes out and get a familiar face in Bill O'Brien. So he feels good about where they're at and where they're going to be. So, yeah, he's going to go back into the past because that was success with the play call in Bill O'Brien. So he feels now bold enough to say, look at my last 25 years. That's why you're going to have optimism about what I'm doing and what we're going to do. And if you don't want to believe it, then that's on you. So I personally don't have a problem with it because that experiment that they had last year completely failed. That's why he got rid of him and went and got Bill O'Brien. This is why, think about it. He got rid of him. He tried something. Oh, I'm the genius. Look, I can turn anybody into offensive coordinator. Well, nah. I need a real offensive coordinator.
Max, let me pose this to you very quickly. Don't we appreciate people who realize that a mistake has been made and they pivot very quickly off that mistake?
Quickly.
Right? So, like, I do believe that this is one of those characteristics of people who are winners or who are successful, right? The ability to recognize, you know what? I tried it this way. It didn't work. So let me do a quick change. Let me revamp some things. I may have had a decision that I'm stuck with as relates to Mac Jones, and I still have to pan that one to see if it turns out. But inevitably, if I surround them with the right staff, maybe that increases my odds of winning games.
Well, Lamar Jackson's available. I mean, look, here's the problem. Key, I hear what you're saying. I've heard excuses being made. Field Yates was talking about, well, the division's hard now. What? That's an excuse? Division was so bad for quarterbacks for 20 years, and he had Tom Brady.
The division was, it
for
was
quarterbacks, I'm saying, right?
It wasn't
for
great.
20 years, you have the greatest of all time, and you're playing, Key alone had about 15 quarterbacks on the Jets. The point is so now the division's tough, and there's no excuse. Hey, look, bottom line is this. This is year 4 we're heading into without Brady. It's year 10 altogether as a head coach without Brady. He's doing things the way you should trust because of the success of the last 25 years, most of them with Tom Brady. All right, so you're going to make the playoffs and win a playoff game, right? Right? Year 10? You're going to win one. Are you going to win a playoff game or not?
They went to some Super Bowls early in Tom Brady's career, and they didn't go back to a Super Bowl for damn near 11 years.
They were in the playoffs every year, Key, and they were usually making runs.
Okay. Again, they won the Super Bowl with Teddy Bruschi, Lawyer Malloy, Willie McGinnis. I could go Tyler, I could go on and on and on. Those first 3 Super Bowls.
So you don't need a great quarterback to win the Super Bowl, right?
But wait, those first three Super Bowls, they didn't get back to a Super Bowl, I believe, for 10, 11 years.
That's right, but in those 10 years, they went to AFC championship games. They won the division. They won playoff games.
Is there not such a thing? Is there not such a thing as a transition period? Is there not such a thing as a transition period?
How many years should a transition period be?
I would say 3.
Okay, well, 3 is up. 3 years. So now we're in year 4. He's going to win a playoff game, right?
I don't know if they're going to win a playoff game or not.
Are they going to make the playoffs?
I certainly feel better about where their staff is at now than they were a year ago. That's for damn sure.
Bill Belichick,
and I think Bill Belichick feels the same way, and Mr. Kraft feels the same way. In fact, Mr. Kraft said yesterday that they tried some experiment that did not work. They feel better about where they're at now because they've made the necessary adjustments, just like Jay just like Jay spoke about in a quick pivot.
Hey, let me be very clear. Bill Belichick is arguably, maybe he even has the best argument, as the greatest coach who ever lived in the history of the NFL, right? You know, Vince Lombardi might want to have a word, and a couple other guys, but he has a good argument for it. I'm not taking any credit away for what he did with Tom Brady. That he deserves credit for that. But I'm also noticing the fact that he's entering year 10 without Brady. He's sitting on one playoff win. I don't think he's going to get a second.
Let me ask you this question before we move on.
So when he says last 25 years, he's pointing mostly to Brady.
Let me ask you this question before we move on.
Go ahead.
You always say his general manager skills, right? They suck. They're not good.
Well, I don't think they suck, but it's,
okay, I use suck. They're not good. That's better. Okay? Did he not discover Tom Brady?
Yeah.
Okay, end the discussion, man.
So, in other words, he's a good GM, right?
End the discussion.
So he's a great GM
dude in the sixth
and a great
round
coach
that
who
went on
can't
to
win a playoff game without Tom Brady in 10 years.
Stop. If I got Magic Johnson for 20 years, and then all of a sudden Magic retires and I miss the playoffs a couple years and don't win a playoff game, all of a sudden I don't have good general manager skills.
Jerry West came up with Kobe.
What's he gonna do?
Lamar's out there.
Phil Jackson.
Bye.
Phil Jackson didn't do too well.
I'm bottom.
Let's
just bottom line it.
Kobe
Can he
and
win
Michael
a
Jordan.
playoff game
But
without
he was a
Tom
GM
Brady?
versus
Another one because he's won one in
coach.
9 years. Can he win another one? We're going to ask our GM.
I don't think he's gonna win another Super Bowl.
No, I just need a playoff game. I don't need a Super Bowl. Just
another.
one playoff game.
Of course he can.
Okay, well, ain't going to happen this year, or is it?
Let's go, Max.
Let's
Gotta
make
go
a
to
bet.
break.
Against the message that he preached for so many years, being in the meetings, here we go. We won a Super Bowl last year, but it doesn't matter what we did last year. I don't even care if you were all pro. I don't care if you're a Pro Bowler, 10-time Pro Bowler. All of that stuff. That's what he tried to convey to his players about looking forward, and it looks like there was a shift. And I was just caught off guard, and that was my immediate reaction there.
Yeah, and nothing was wrong with your reaction at all, Teddy. And when you said that on This Just In, 2 p.m., handsome host, the whole deal, I said to myself, okay, yeah, Teddy knows because Teddy's been in that locker room. He's gotten the same message from Bill Belichick as I would have gotten from Bill Parcells. It doesn't matter what you did yesterday. It matters what you do today. But what I would say in that is he recognized they screwed it up last year, so he made a quick pivot to Bill O'Brien. And you know how Bill is. He's a tongue-in-cheek guy, even though he's serious. At the same time, when he knows that he got you by the you-know-whats, he's going to kind of let you know in a different way. So when I heard him say that, I'm like, because he knows his team is going to be better than it was a year ago because of Bill O'Brien. So he's pointing to the last 25 years because he's saying, okay, y'all been talking all this about me. Watch what happens this year. That's the way I took it. I took it that way.
Yeah, I can understand that, Key, and I'll say this: I don't care what Bill O'Brien's done in the past either. I don't care how many times he argued with Tom Brady on the sideline either. I mean, Billy owes nothing to 2023.
I don't think it's unreasonable to say now he's entering season 10 as a head coach without Tom Brady, when you count Cleveland, right? He's 2 games under 500 in that time. He has 1 playoff win. I don't think it's unreasonable to say one of these years he needs to win another playoff game without Tom Brady.
Hey, Teddy.
Right? Like, shouldn't he win another playoff
he's
game?
got, just like Max, he's got a playoff appearance with Mac Jones.
Yep, impressive.
I mean, what else? The Tom Brady injury when I was there in 2008, we went 11-5 and missed the playoffs by a tiebreaker or something like that. Yep. You're right what you're saying, Max. I mean, I know you're poking the bear a little bit in terms of all Patriots fans and myself included. But I mean, you're right. I mean, the greatest coach of all time, but still, I mean, the success is New England fans, okay? Like the New England fans apply pressure is what they do because New England fans really don't care about what you did in the past either. I mean, it means a lot to them, and they're generational fans, and they'll always remember those good years. But next year is super important to them, and they want to see him make a commitment and get it done next year also.
Bill Belichick is probably the greatest coach in the history of the NFL.
Definitely.
Yeah, I would say once upon a time it was definitely. And then Brady left, and it's like, well, what you going to do without The GOAT.
What is anybody going to do without a great quarterback?
Well, okay, Bill Parcells won wherever he went. Andy Reid won in multiple places, right?
Andy Reid, Donovan McNabb, and Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, but he's the GM. Go get your quarterback. Lamar Jackson's available. Matt Stafford was available. Aaron Rodgers was available. He wound up. Instead
Aaron
of all
Rodgers
those
has one Super Bowl.
But so let's not make an excuse of quarterbacks. He has the quarterback he has. He drafted him. He buys the groceries. He cooks the food. He's the GM and the
that
coach.
Quarterback's rookie year, they went to the playoffs.
Did they win a playoff game?
No, they went to the playoffs. How many other teams
I'm
do
talking
that?
to Devin McCourty.
I know,
How
but
many
you're
other
saying
teams do
stuff
that?
that just drives me crazy.
Bill Belichick is entering season 10 in his career as a head coach without Tom Brady. One playoff win. He's now in year 4 with the Patriots without Tom Brady. Is the expectation now that he wins one measly playoff game in 4 years without Brady, 2 in 10 without him? Can he do that?
I just think it's interesting because Bill has entered a stratosphere that no one else will enter. We judge a guy on how many games he's won since Tom, and there's other teams, when that franchise that has a quarterback, Peyton Manning, the Phillip Rivers, like so many of these organizations went straight nosedive until they ended up with a top 3 to 5 pick, and that was the only way they turned it around. This team has never been bad enough to draft in the top 5. So you say find a quarterback. Usually we say if you draft a quarterback mid-first round, you don't have a guy. That's what people usually say. You got to draft a quarterback usually in the top 3 to 5 picks, they say.
But, Devin, there's been a trade market available for quarterbacks since Brady left.
But, Max, how do you
quarterbacks are flying all over the league. He got the dude he got.
But
That's
Max,
on him.
How do you handle the point, though, Max, that Dev is making about the fact that they've always been
he's a
above
victim
average?
Look. Belichick can't.
They've always been above 500 to a degree.
Belichick can't stink. Like, he can't because he's too good a coach. I get it. So he's going to be competitive. My point is there are other ways to do it. You just got to draft a guy. There are all these excellent quarterbacks who've switched teams.
But then you're only good for a couple years, which we've seen. We've never seen a team other than the Patriots continue to be great for 20 years. What teams have we watched?
Well, since they had Brady, they were great all those years. As soon as he left,
I can't, man. I can't. I'm sorry.
You have to balance that out. So, yeah, he could go and say, you know what, I'll go get Aaron Rodgers. And then in 3 years, we'll be back saying, you know, they only won because they wouldn't have gotten Aaron Rodgers. We wouldn't say that's a great move. We'll say they only won and now they stink again.
So wait, are you arguing because now he's now 2 games under 500, huge sample size, 72 and 74 as a head coach without Tom Brady, and I'm including the Matt Castle year, which pumps it up. Otherwise, he's a lot worse than that. So he's under 500 in a huge sample as a head coach without Brady, and you're telling me that the reason he shouldn't get a good quarterback is because then he won't get credit?
No,
so he should stay with a mediocre quarterback and stay mediocre?
You have to be patient to build a team up that you want to have sustained success. Right. And I think that's what they're doing. Now you have a guy like Mac Jones. Yes, I will agree with everybody. Last year, the experiment on offense was a bad decision. I think there's nothing else around that. But if we have an offensive coordinator last year, we actually have a chance to be a good football team and compete in the AFC.
You got one this year?
Yeah, I definitely think
so. Therefore, you're going to win a playoff game this year, right? Because it's year 4 without Brady. No playoff wins.
It's going to be tough now.
Now it's going to be tough. Now it's going to be tough.
I'm going to be real. The AFC East is tough. If you ask me,
for everybody.
Exactly. If you ask me, I'm picking the Patriots. I like what they have. I think they have an opportunity. They return everybody on defense except me. You replace one guy on defense. You get an offensive coordinator. You make some different moves. You get Juju. You get Mike Gesicki. You got a chance now to compete. It's not.
Can I mention one thing?
Go ahead.
The Giants are in a division with Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts. Brian Daboll been a head coach for 1 year. No Tom Brady got a playoff win. Got as many playoff wins without Brady as Bill Belichick.
Jeff, real quick.
Max,
is Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi the guy?
I think it'll be Mac Jones. Mac Jones will be the guy.
Devin McCourty. Well argued, sure.
Am I sure what they will do? You never know what will happen. But sitting right here, March 28th, I think Mac Jones will be the guy.
Okay. And
I told you he was going to go real dark, man.
Yes, playoff win. All right, good.
But, playoff wins in New England doesn't matter if you win one playoff game. It's different.
Let's start there.
Let's
start. I agree, too, but I'm trying to lower the standard for Belichick because everyone's telling me you need to lower the standard now because Brady's not there.
So everyone is not telling you that.
Say he's got to win a Super Bowl.
Everybody's not telling you that, Max. You're telling yourself that.
Okay, fine. Then let's make it a Super Bowl. They're going to win the Super Bowl this year?
Look, at the end of the day, they probably not going to win the Super Bowl. But I can guarantee you, like I said, bringing Bill O'Brien in and Devin McCourty was on the team. I wasn't on the team. It was a disaster.
Okay.
Joe
You said at the end of the day.
Judge and Matt Patricia running the damn offense.
We'll see if at
Like,
the end
come
of the
on.
career he got a Super Bowl win without Tom Brady. We'll see.
But wait, real quick though, Devin.
See,
we done
Devin
had
goes out and says it.
we done had 2 players on this show today from New England. Okay, countless Pro Bowls, Super Bowl championships, along with all pros. 2 guys, you and Teddy Bruschi. And all Max keep talking about is Bill Belichick can't win without Tom Brady, as if Tom Brady was the only guy on the whole damn team. Drives me nuts.
Well, but I didn't think so. I thought he was the greatest
drive
coach
me
of all
nuts.
time. I just noticing that he can't seem to win a playoff game without Brady. Thank you, Devin McCourty.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.